Hi, it's time for a mail call video. I was told today by someone else here in the office, oh that'd be Cindy, that the boxes are piling up and I have to do something with them, otherwise she hasn't got any place to put them anymore. So this is going to be one of those fast ones where we got to do a bunch of boxes so she can get rid of the packing stuff and find a place to put all this stuff. Because as I tell people sometimes, one of the really common things you hear around here is, what did you buy now? So, this one, number one here, should be kind of a giveaway because it's got a big, long, round shipping tube. And some of you may have an idea what that is. And I'm not even going to make a big mess today and throw everything on the floor because, like I said, I got to go fast. So this one, I actually ran across the other day. That. And, no, that. What we have here is a NuTone K44 door chime. We've got to fix the little brass thingies here because they seem to have come loose a little bit. That's one of the most important parts of the whole thing. That one, I think they were caught in some of the packing material. They got kind of pulled loose. So they just fit into the slots and then they bend over on the back. So that's pretty easy. And that's actually pretty nice. K44s are one of the most highly sought after NuTone 8-note long tube vintage door chimes ever made. That's much better. And this one's in nice shape. It is dirty inside, but it'll wash up. And we have its chime base with a separate sack with a loose plunger. That's alright too. It appears as if it's missing two plungers, it's missing 3 springs, end caps, so on. The little rods where the cover snaps onto next to the wall, those are bent, but that happens a lot of the time. This is perfectly serviceable and renewable. So there's the base and the cover. And then in here will be the tubes. And whoever packaged this did a really nice job. So much so, they don't want to come out. Alright. Alright. That goes there. And we have a set of 4 tubes of different lengths. And I think we're going to have to use the scissors on these. Because you don't want to use the utility knife because you risk scratching or gouging the brass, and that would be bad. And the real question with the tubes is going to be, what kind of shape are they actually in? There we go. Oops. Alright, so cover and base, 4 tubes of different lengths. We'll sort them here by length. This one goes here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. They have a really nice dark patina on them, which is how they get. They look almost it's kind of hard, you won't be able to see it in the video. They look almost kind of orangey. They have solid tops. The hanger cords are all original and are in pretty decent shape. This one's got a very small hairline crack right there, not bad. This one, very small beginning of a hairline crack right there. This one, very small hairline crack there. And the longest one, it has a somewhat more substantial crack right there. However, part of that is because someone has driven the top plug in too far, and that's bad because it puts stress on the whole thing. However, these are all far enough up here that it's not really much of a problem. I do have a video, I'll put one of those pop-up tags up here somewhere, right there probably, that talks about why they crack and how you can't do anything about it. But all in all, it's in pretty good shape. And for instance, if we choose one here and we just hang it like this, you can't really see very well, but if you listen carefully, that's probably not the best thing. This will be better. What you're supposed to actually use if you ring them by hand is you're supposed to have a compliant rubber mallet. Not bad. So much for the going fast and opening things. I would say all in all, not bad. So this one might actually have a potential home already. Not sure, have to get back to the guy, but we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and get the next box. All right, box number 2. This one's heavy, and I don't know what's in it. Some of these came in recently. Some of these that you're gonna see have been here a while. I don't remember buying anything in particular that was heavy. Oh, I know what this is. Could have been packed better, that's for sure. People have an unusual idea of how to package them. This is a heavy beast. All right, so what we have here is we have a music and sound model N440. In fact, this is a music and sound model N443, I think, if I recall correctly. I remember buying it because it is, yeah, it is a 443. It says right here, 443. And this was made in 1982. So it's been around for a while. This was an eBay find. Switches are kind of crusty. Not too bad. Direct access tuning, red LED display up there. This is another educational model. It's to learn on and figure out what goes wrong with them and things like that. So not a lot. We'll do a review on it sometime in the near future. And here's the third one, also heavy. This one's been cut open already, which I don't remember doing, but I think it's been here a while. We've got styrofoam peanuts galore in here. See if we can get it out without making a big mess. I do remember buying this now that I have it part way out. And what we have is a NuTone model bracket. Another bracket. Brackets are important. All right. Get this over here. This is a NuTone model 2055-2056. AM, FM, room-to-room intercom master station. Has auxiliary input for phonograph. The nice thing about this one is complete. It includes the wall housing, the mounting bracket, apparently all the screws, very important. Put those all in the bag together. One of the problems with vintage master stations, and this is in nice condition, this is the copper finished one. Raised part of the speaker grill has little copper accents on it, and behind the knobs they're sort of gold instead of silver. The nice thing about this, oh, it has a switch box assembly too. This is a complete master station. This would be everything you would get out of the box when this was brand new. The thing about this is, the reason that it's worth buying is you can find a lot of master stations for sale sometimes. Not a ton, but some. Most of the time what you get is a master station. There's no switch box assembly. There's no wall housing. There's no mounting brackets, no screws. So what do you do with it? If you want to do a vintage installation starting from scratch, you need all those things. So it's really hard to come up with. And as you can see here, some of the brackets and things, pretty complicated, not easy to duplicate. I have managed in the past to sort of replicate something like this so a set could be installed, but some of this is just a lot of work. It's hard to do. So that's why this was worth having. Do I have a home for it yet? No. It'll probably go on the shelf. It may sit there for a long time, but one day someone will want it. All right, box number 4, also heavy. Oh. And I remember this. Yeah, I don't always know what's in the boxes, but I always remember what I buy. And what we have here is, that's interesting. I have a NuTone model 2016. Corners are all banged up, but I don't care about that in this particular case. So AM, FM, room-to-room intercom master station. This particular one was made in 1960. So this was 4 years into the production of this model. No, this was 57, 59, 60. This is the second year that this model was available. And the reason I bought this was this is destined to be a parts unit. It's not in particularly great shape. The faceplate's all smashed up here. The chassis got a lot of rust on it. It's just not in the world's best condition. The tubes, a lot of them have been replaced. I'm not sure if this speaker cone is original. Maybe, may not be. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if I've ever seen one like that, but it's so old that who knows. The reason I bought this is because, and the reason it's destined to be a parts unit, I have 2 of these here right now that I have to begin working on soon. They're both for the same fella, and one of them, the glass dial here, is broken. It needs to be replaced. I have a few of these here and they're in very, very nice condition. They're not parts units. That's not their intention. The one with the broken glass, it needs to be replaced. So this was a reasonable price. This will become a parts unit. This smashed corner up here, and it's very smashed. Nothing you could do about that. You can try and try and try, but you'll never really get it straightened out so it looks like an original corner. So this is a parts unit. Its bits and pieces will be given up to fix other 2016s. This is a Swell Box. So this is 2 file folder boxes that someone sort of pieced together to make a shipping box out of. And of course inside, they decided to send me all of their shredded paper, which I actually hate when people do this. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk this out to the trash real quick and get rid of this because I don't want this all over the shop. All right, wait for it. Here it comes. It's a NuTone model 2561, 2562. And this particular unit looks like it's from 1973, so it's at the very, very end of when this model was still in production. Can't read the chassis number because it's all smeared. But anyway, this happens to be a brown unit. It's got the wrong tuning knobs. These are knobs from inventive. These are knobs from 2090 or 2540 or something like that. Needs the correct knobs. Somebody was very inventive. They put some silicone inside the center of the knob, push it on the shaft, let it dry, and they had a usable knob. So I'll give them credit for ingenuity, if nothing else. Don't know what we're going to do with this. It was a reasonable price. It is the last version that they made, so it has value, even if it's just for the chassis. Not everybody wants a brown unit nowadays. I don't think these are original either. I think these white knobs, they could be. I'd have to look it up and see, but I think these were black. Not sure. Anyway, the switches feel like they're in pretty good shape. Master volume, hard to turn, but that can be cleaned. So it's another unit for the shelf, and someday it'll get put into use. Now on to the next box. Okay, this is, I believe, box number 6. Again, I have no idea what's in this. A lot of mystery boxes today. That's what happens when stuff sits around for a long time, because we're like super busy. Oh, again, I know what it is, and I remember buying it. Because lately, it's funny with used equipment, sometimes there's a lot, and sometimes there's hardly any at all. And so, if you go through a big drought of equipment, when you start seeing stuff, you better snatch it up while you can. So what we have here is a very nice NuTone 5006 master station. The thing that's particularly attractive about this, and this will be featured in an upcoming video as soon as I have time, because it has a very specific problem. The nice thing about this one is this is almost like brand new. It's not yellowed or discolored at all. It's not all scratched up. Even the shiny black plastic cassette door and the overlay for the display, it's not even hardly scratched. So this looks like a unit that was hardly ever used. It obviously has been installed, you can tell, but it's very, very clean inside. So who knows, maybe it was a display unit in somebody's store or showroom or something like that. Really hard to tell. Vintage wise, this is probably it's early 90s. It's like 92, 93, maybe 94. Could even be as late as 95. It's got this is the connection for the backup battery. Someone's pulled that out. They probably thought it unplugged and it doesn't. So it's got a good future. This will be an excellent unit to find a home for at some point. This has to be put away carefully to keep it out of the light because we don't want it to start to yellow. And then also there's a little bit of repair and rebuilding that should be done to it. The repair is for a problem. The rebuilding is for its age. So again, another nice find. So what are we up to? Number 7? All right. So this, bunch of transformers. Not sure why. That's a 30 volt 20 VA. That's from like a 2540 2090. This is a 105T. This is a 12 volt 30. Oh, I know where these came from. All right, let's put that aside for a second. Rifle through the box here a minute. All right, don't care about any of that. Miscellaneous screws. Terminal board for a 3303. No value whatsoever. I probably have 24 of these. Most of them are brand new. These are so common and no demand for them that it'll end up in the recycling because really what's the point? You can only keep some things for so long. These transformers, there's this fella on eBay who had a bunch of very unusual NuTone parts, and my guess is that he was either a service center or a dealer or something, and he had a selection of transformers that are really hard to find. So this is a 30 volt 20 VA transformer. This is for a 2090, 2540, 2542. And this one is not a 105. These look slightly crusty, but he did say they all work. This is the same transformer. This transformer has not been available from NuTone in probably 20 years. And these are really hard to come by. So are plastic bags that don't rip. This one is a very unusual transformer because it's 12 volts at 30 VA. VA are the same as watts. I prefer watts. And this is the transformer for an SM428 stereo master station. Very, very hard to come by. I think I only have one other one. So when you see things like this that someday you're going to need, you got to snatch them up because that's what happens. So we've got that stuff. Get rid of the plastic bags. And then this came from someone else. I have no idea who, but got an IMA 3303 master station. The faceplate is discolored a little, but it's not terrible. The biggest problem with this is going to be, and I don't know if this works or not, it looks clean, pretty clean on the back. This is a late production model, probably from 2013, 2014. So one of the very last years these were made. And this is a 3303 that has green colored circuit boards, and the sets with green colored circuit boards have certain problems that occur sometimes, not always, but sometimes, that have to do with the microprocessor on the microprocessor board. That's an unsolvable problem. So whether this is any good or not, I don't know, but it's still a good one to have. The main board, this one on the back, is always okay. There's some parts that need to be replaced and it needs to be rebuilt some so it doesn't go poof, because they tend to do that too. But still good to have. So another good find. Next box, and when I was getting this one off the shelf, I found another transformer in a plastic bag. It's another 12 volt 30 VA SM428. That's good. I thought I bought more than one of those, but I didn't remember exactly. This box, I don't know what's in it. This wasn't actually in a box. This was just sitting on the shelf like this. Apparently it's a NuTone 2573 patio remote control, which has been taped up many times, it looks like. So it is a 2573. However, it's not a patio remote control, because if it was a patio remote control, this whole switch assembly back here would have this big, giant, thin rubber gasket that fits around it, and then it folds over the back on 4 sides, and there's these eyelet standoffs that the holes in the gasket fit over to hold it closed to keep the water out of it. That didn't work very well, but it's the best they could do. This one was made in 1963, so it's been around for a while. It's also not in its faceplate properly, so let's take the screw out. We're just going to fix it real quick because we don't want it to break. So this is the bezel. This is the control. The reason they designed it this way is this will fit in an 8-inch inside station, or it can be mounted in a plate like this and used with a separate ceiling speaker or a separate patio station, a separate patio speaker. And the way this fits in is there's a lip here and here. So you put it in from the back, you put the bottom in first to fit the lip in place like this, and then it takes a single screw on the back to hold it in place. So now it's assembled correctly. This can, and I have done it before, this can easily be converted into an outdoor patio station because I have a template to make the gasket. And it comes in handy because, as with all outdoor equipment, it's always what fails first because it's outdoors. And things were not as weatherproof in those days. And I don't know, like in 1963, I'm pretty certain they didn't have silicone caulking. And I don't know if they had any kind of caulking at all. I don't know how you dealt with that kind of stuff in 1963. So, you know, water gets in, especially if it's on a stucco wall that's very irregular, or if it's on a wall with vertical siding, so there's slots, and then of course there's always a slot next to the top of the frame, and that's how the water runs. Okay, we're getting towards the bottom of the pile here. You can actually see the top of the table. Take this out. Take this out. Put that there. You gotta always check and make sure that you didn't leave something in the box. So what we have here is another 256162. This one's silver and black. It has the extra extension frame with the faux wood look on it, And this particular one is from 1969, and this one is like really crusty inside. It's really, really dirty. It was probably in a kitchen. It was probably near where they cooked, and it gets oil and stuff on it, and then all the lint and junk sticks to it, and they get pretty nasty when they're like this. You can see here, maybe, the top circuit board. I don't know how well you can see that. It's really, really dirty, and it's got all kinds of fuzzy junk on it and everything from it being dirty for so long. However, this will easily clean up. The faceplate is not bad. It's not great. It's missing a knob, 2 knobs here. The FM tuning condenser is kind of wobbly, which happens on these. They slip a lot. Needs to be cleaned, all like that. It'll find a home either for its chassis or maybe as a complete unit. It was probably reasonably priced. I don't remember. You get the 2 mounting side brackets and the wall housing, which is always good. So something good can be done with all of it. Put that over there. Put this over here. Let me go look and see if there's anything else. All right, I think this is the last one. What is this, number 8 or number 9 or something like that? I found this on the bottom of the roll-around cart. Don't know how long it's been there. Things get out of hand when we get really busy sometime. So what we have here is another 256162. It's like 256162 galore today. Like that's the 3rd one. This is also a brown one. Not as nice of a shape as the other one. However, it has the correct tuning knobs, and these are black. These are correct down here also. So marry the 2 together, maybe make a really good one. I don't know. This looks a little on the crusty side, but it would probably clean up nicely, which is good. This one is also from 1973, just like the other one. So that's good. It looks all original. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Perfectly good unit. Tuner on this one. Pull the knob out a little bit. It slips a little bit. See, watch. I'll show you what happens to these. So watch the dial with the numbers. I'm going to go way back here. So on the AM, when you turn it, oh, that one slips too. So the AM is more of a direct drive. Every time, if you turn the knob a quarter turn, the numbers turn about a quarter turn. This one is different because it's finer tuning on FM. So if you watch the numbers, turn the knob, numbers move, turn the knob, numbers move, keep turning, numbers keep moving. But when you get down towards the end, oh no, see, it's going to make a liar out of me. Maybe it just hadn't been turned in a long time. Sometimes what happens, because of the way the tuning shaft is designed, when you get at one end or the other, it has enough slip in it that you turn the knob, turn the knob, turn the knob, but the numbers don't move very much at all. So it seemed to have straightened itself out. That's excellent, because that's one less thing you got to fix, even though you got to clean it anyway. So I think that's all. Let me go give one more quick look around and make sure. Okay, that's it. I think that was enough for one day. The table is empty. The boxes are all out, ready to be thrown in the trash or go to the recyclers, depending on what they are. We have a whole giant pile of NuTone stuff, and now I have to go put on the shelves where they belong. So at some future time, they can be put back into use or used for something or whatever. I hope you found this interesting, and maybe for someone it'll be helpful. If it is, give it a thumbs up on YouTube. That helps us just a little bit. There'll be a banner right here that shows you how to subscribe. Go to our YouTube homepage, click on the bell, and when you click on the bell, click on it to receive all notifications. And every time we post a new video, you get a notification and you can watch it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.